Hi, my name is Andrew Boey. Today we're going to learn about how to break the sync speed barrier. A couple of days ago, I posted a series of photos on Facebook which is very interesting. Now, if you're a flash photographer, one of the most interesting ways to actually shoot your photo with flash is to put your flash away from the camera on a light stand. Now, when you do that, you actually set your flash to remote, like so. Now, every time the flash goes off, this flash is going to fire. The flash that goes off is going to be the flash on your camera. But one of the biggest problems of doing this is that you will not be able to set on your camera any shutter speed higher than 1/200 or 1/250 of a second. That is the sync speed problem. Now, in order to counter that, many photographers set their f number to as high as f11 or f16. What we're going to show you is going to be something really interesting. You will now be able to shoot with the shutter speed as high as 1/4000, 1/8000 of a second. And how to do this? To understand this, let's talk about your flash. First and foremost, I'm going to show you how it looks like when I set my flash to 1/128 of a power. This is the lowest power they can get on your flash. Now look at this. As I flash this, you will notice that the light goes off very briefly. Do you realize this? It's just very brief. That's how you keep the power to its minimum. Now when I set my flash to full power, you're going to see a big difference now. You're going to realize that the flash lights up very, very long compared to the 1/128. Do you notice this? This is full power. In order to get the power higher, most modern flashes, what they do is that they flash longer. So by being longer, the light is more powerful. And 1/128 is going to be really brief. Notice this? Really brief. That's how you keep the power minimum. To understand this, you need to understand Kung Fu. Kung Fu. In Kung Fu, to get oneself a powerful punch, one just simply need to punch longer, like so. That's a powerful punch, executed at 1/1, equivalent to your flash power. Now, if I were to tone down my power of my punch to a lower power, look at this. I'm not doing this right? To do this right, we got to get the Sifu of Kung Fu himself. Bruce, take it away. And what the hell does Bruce Lee got to do with sync speed? Nothing. Now, for the longest time, for most flash photographers, the only way to use flash remotely is to use your f number very high, which is f11, f16. Now, not much choices that you have. It's just 11 or 16, and you cannot have shutter speed higher than 1/200 or 1/250. If you have your shutter speed higher than 1/250 or 1/200, this is what you get. You're going to see that the shutter of your camera is starting to close, and you're going to get black band on your photo, or you're going to have a certain portion of your photo light up by the lights. Now this is what we want to do. Use flash and still get blurry background and still use very high shutter speed, 1/4000, 1/8000, and black out the background. Now that you know how to do this, let's see how we do this in practical. To do this, there are two parts. The first part, the trick is to set your remote flash at full power. At full power, you're going to get very high flash duration. So I'm going to use an SB900 over there. And the other half of the trick is the flash on my camera, I'm using an SB600. It has to be on full power as well. Right? Now, to model for us today, we have the beautiful Vivian. Thank you so much for modeling with us. Don't you agree with us that every time we do, when you do a lot of shoots, when you use studio lights, the background will always become?
Very sharp.
Very sharp. This time we're going to background very blur. Alright, so we got that flash on full power. I've got my flash on top of my camera at full power. Make sure it's manual. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my camera on matrix metering. That way I can look at the background and also the subject. My ISO now is 200 and my f number purposely set to f2.8. Gonna turn off this light. We don't need this light now. And let's try this. I'm gonna take from a very low angle. Make sure that my flash is pointed towards that flash, which is on an umbrella. You gotta play by distance now because that's full power. And begin, press down a little bit and look up a little bit over that side. No, head down a little bit. Turn. Beautiful. Right, I'm at a shutter speed of 5,000 now. 1/5,000. Beautiful. Look at the background. Look at the lights. So when you use flash, you now have an option to get your background blurry and beat the sync speed still. Look at my shutter speed now. 1/5,000 f2.8. Now go try this. Don't let that 1/200, 1/250 sync speed get in the way. We're gonna do something different now. I'm gonna add 2 lights. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to break the sync speed but still use 2 lights. We're gonna add 1 light at the back and function as a rim light. Now the trick is that you've got to make sure that it is still full power. That's what we do. Same thing. I get down just a little bit. Beautiful. Chin up a bit. Lovely. Not so much. Boom. There you go. Beautiful. That's how you get a beautiful rim light and blurry background. This looks so surreal. Hey, in future, if you want to learn tips and tricks of photography, make sure you watch the Beyond Photography show.